it's me, Bagels, once again, and we are back for another set in our Grand Finals Saturday. We got Challenger League Grand Finals right now. It's Rockerman's time to play on the pitch, Ascension versus Motion, and we got merely aka Noob Gamer 592 in the call.
Yes, sir. This is the alter identity. The people haven't seen before, but for the grand finals, gotta break it out. Definitely wasn't just because it was faster. Uh, this series definitely is Rockerman versus pretty much the entirety of Nemesis. So, can he hack the script and take home a chip for the first time?
Yeah, definitely. He's gotten some scuffed wins in season one. He was throwing shade at me the other day, saying he did win with Origin season one, and he did. But he's won as a GM twice now, and this is his first time to get a legit title for himself. And he's played extremely well this season. Ascension, solid record, beating out all the playoff teams in regulation in the season. And they had a bit of a scare against the Drakes, and they had that interesting roster of half Alpha, half Reed, but they got the full lineup now nearly, and they're gonna have to go off against a hot Motion who took down the other favorite on the other side of the bracket in Flame.
And Motion just kind of dominated Flame, something that I don't think very many people saw coming. Myself included, Flame was one of the best teams in Challenger. For a time, I thought they were even the best team, but Motion handled them like they were not. And Motion coming in hot. I know they've also gotten some coaching as well from someone who I believe is at least SSL. I'm not sure exactly who, but I know they've been on the grind. They definitely don't want to lose this series. They actually already lost to Ascension twice in the regular season, but they're definitely going to be looking to prove that things are different now that the grand finals is all on the line.
Yeah, and the man you're referring to is actually in chat with his patented cow bouncing. I don't even know what the heck it is, but I've seen it all over Twitter at one point or another and in the Discord. It's Clavin, and he's actually been kind of a secret coach for Motion, apparently, and he's helped them out a lot. And honestly, it showed. Motion played extremely well there against Flame, and I wouldn't put it past them to put up quite the performance here in these grand finals against Ascension. And Rockerman, he's gone on record. I've gone on record saying it for him on record. He is not gonna lose to Kovalchuk, and this is not just a battle for the money, the battle for the pride. It is a rivalry between these two guys going back to season 3.
Yeah, all the way back to before season 3, actually. When I was on Ascension in season 3, the very first scrim we had was against, I believe, then the Bishops. Kovalchuk was on the Bishops, and during one of the scrims, the first scrim we played the entire season, Kovalchuk went out of his way to just chase Rockerman around the field. He was not a fan of his play style then. And I'm pretty sure he's still not a fan of his play style. I don't know if you can count that being the point where the rivalry started, but I like to think that it is. And now things have culminated in them facing off in the grand finals here. Definitely not the script we expected, but probably the one we deserve.
Well, apparently I've butchered the man's name there in chat, and I do apologize for that. But I have actually played against him in ranked, and he has a very similar playstyle to Rockerman. Actually, he's very bump demo heavy, and he's got a little bit of a fake toxicity to him. But I can guarantee there's no fake toxicity in this matchup. They all mean it. They all want this win. And Kovalchuk, he starts out with the good luck, guys, but I feel like it's half-hearted.
And
'Cause
there's
he
a
wants this
patented
one bad.
toxicity from Kovalchuk.
Yeah. We got this one started off game one. Here's a big fake from Reed to start it out in a big play.
And Reed showing up immediately in the first 10 seconds, fakes out JSN. Reed is actually one of those players that actually hasn't really been the star of Ascension, but he's been a crucial player in their semifinal win, and now he's proving that he's going to be a crucial factor in grand finals as well.
And he claps back saying good luck after he scores the fake goal. And something I just noticed is Vanity Bop isn't in the lobby right now. They got JSN subbing in. And, Vanity Bop is a big part of this roster. And I'm not sure if it was planned to have him not play in this matchup, but Kovalchuk on the other side, it's a quick 2-goal affair.
And Motion gonna equalize immediately, just off of Rockerman getting caught on defense. Like you said, I'm not sure where Vanity Bop is. He's been a key player for multiple teams in the last 2 seasons. I can even see him in Twitch chat, so I'm not sure exactly why he's not playing now, but you have to wonder why this decision on the biggest day of the season.
Yeah, definitely Vanity an integral part to this roster, but certainly JSN no slouch either. And getting involved with the assist there for the first goal from Motion. As Green in the midfield, getting a big bang off this Motion corner. Rockerman looking for the follow, a little bit of a sack of rocks aerial. Will not get the job done there. As Reed now to follow, he can't find contact either. Green looking to find some sort of consistency, big flick over everybody, and the Motion defense was just slouching right there.
And Motion just gave way too much space to this play from Greenglow. They were obviously expecting Reed to make a touch, but you have to still be anticipating a weak touch or something there. Both defenders caught sitting in net, and Greenglow is not a slouch on the flicks.
And JSN probably to blame right there. Should have been a little bit more passive, sitting back, letting Sushi force that flick up front. As now two players on Ascension clustered close together. Green can't find the touch. Kovalchuk lofting this one into the corner. Reed, the big play out. Rockerman dishing this one off to the side. Reed to the chase, putting the shot on, but only straight at Kovalchuk's face. It's now Green looking for some ball control here in the mid. Good 50 from Rockerman, high off the ceiling, looking for the follow in the open net. He will secure that one.
And another defensive breakdown of Motion. Rockerman, all it took was one good 50, and he has a completely open net to shoot at. Definitely a shot that he's going to be hitting the majority of the time. You can't allow those opportunities if you're Motion.
Yeah, definitely. The rotation seems to be a problem for Motion here as far as these opening 2 minutes are concerned. They're just, I don't know if they're just too aggressive or they're not expecting Ascension to come out with these 50s and these big plays. I mean, the fake goal was definitely a skillful one coming out from Reed to start off this Challenger Grand Finals, but the last two certainly have been flaws on the Motion side of things.
Definitely, and I mean, even though there have been flaws, Ascension has been stepping up and capitalizing without missing so far, really. But you need to cut off those mistakes and get to the root of the problem. If you're Motion here, now down 3-1 as we approach halftime.
Yeah, and Green looking for a big redirect from the corner, and I know it's only game one, but it's kind of hard to say who the best player is on this Ascension roster. Rockerman will probably tell you it's him. Green will tell you it's him. And honestly, Reed is just a quiet third man that has a lot of big plays and doesn't get the love he deserves so much. But I was playing with Green last night, and he was looking really good, but it's looking like he's a little nervous right now. I think he wants to win just as much as everybody else on this field. There's a big shot coming out, but another huge save from Reed followed there. Triple come in on the goal line, but Ascension are standing tall for now.
A bit of panic there, certainly on the goal line from Ascension, but it gets the job done, as they're going to be awkward on defense once again. But like you were saying, I mean, the thing is, you can maybe try to choose a best player from this Ascension roster, but really, they aren't at their best when only one player is playing well. One thing they've been able to do well for the latter half of this season is use all three players effectively, and that's what's made them a championship caliber team.
And similar to their prospect affiliate, Origin, a well-oiled machine that just took the dub there in the prospect grand finals, is another big save coming out from Greenglow. It is ultimately going to come down to if Rockerman and company can play well together. While on the opposite side, Motion, Sushi was just a standout performance there on Wednesday, as here's another big goal for Ascension. This will likely lock up game one here.
And Motion are just getting destroyed on these 50s. Greenglow read that one well. That 50 to the corner most of the time is not going to have a favorable outcome for the defense. You can see there the defense just wasn't prepared once again. Greenglow snipes that opportunity.
Yeah, and you mentioned these 50s. I was thinking the exact same thing. They are just getting dominated. There's another big one. Not really resulting in anything quite yet, as Kovalchuk up early for the defense. JSN jumping for some reason. Going back early on a few minutes ago, questioning this roster move, as Vanity Bop is what got them through Flame, and Flame was an extremely solid team, so I'm questioning the decision as why they think going up against the #1 seeded Ascension it's a good idea to take Vanity Bop out.
I'm really not sure about the decision either. Reed, oh my goodness, he found the double touch, but good defense from Motion. I'd be forced to agree though, especially after watching the outcome of this first game. Vandy Bob did confirm in chat that apparently Motion told him that they were going to play the first game with JSN instead. But still, I can't help but feel like he's such a crucial member of this roster. Why change anything now when they had such good results in the semifinals?
Yeah, definitely a question that might be answered in the break in between Game 1 and Game 2. But as far as Game 1 is concerned, the 50s and the offensive pressure from Ascension just came out swinging. And I'm not quite sure what the shot total is. I'll have to wait for the little bit of a scene shift here. But it definitely was double digits. Ascension sitting at 11. Motion not too far behind at 6, but just ultimately the 50s and pressure was just, it was just better on Ascension's half.
Yeah, Ascension really only had one big moment of weakness where they did get scored on. Other than that, and maybe the triple commit was a little bit sketchy, but other than that, Ascension really had this entire game locked down. They looked just like the better team on the 50s, the speed department and the passes. Motion are going to have to step it up here.
Yeah, and they could step it up now as ultimately after that Game 1 loss, they have brought in Vanity. JSN is out of the lobby and Vanity is in. And we'll have to see if that makes a big difference here for them, and I think it will. Ascension, they look dominant, but if they have any hope of upsetting this dominant play in Game 1, it's going to have to be Vanity Bop and company. And Sushi, he was quiet. I mentioned him very briefly, but in that Flame series, it was just goal after goal. Kovalchuk on the defense, Vanity Bop getting the assists, making the plays. As there's 4 people on the Ascension roster for some reason right now. There we go. We're back on the right teams. And it's going to have to come down to setting up Sushi, I think. I think he's a big part on this Motion team.
He definitely is, and he's proven his worth multiple times. I did see him mention earlier today in Challenger General at the beginning of the day that he got food poisoning or something. He said that he wasn't playing well. He actually even said that he might not be able to play today. Obviously, he sorted that part of the issue out, but might still be having a bit of an off day due to some extenuating circumstances. Either way, though, oh, that's not the save you want to see from Reed, and Motion will take their first lead in the series.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see from Motion, a big whiff on the goal line, but that is exactly what you want to see if you're Motion taking a good lead here early on in these opening 20 seconds. And a big shot from Kovalchuk, and we talked about how well dispersed this pressure is on Ascension between these 3 players, but honestly, when we were looking at that Flame series, it looked just as equal. Everybody on the Motion roster getting involved, but this series is still young and plenty of time for Motion to get back into it. This is another huge shot coming out from Sushi, and there's the man putting it in the top bin.
And it seems like Motion is finding their way at least into this game, as Sushi with the bar down banger. Gringlo close to making the save, but a little bit too awkward for him.
And either way, huge pressure coming out. 2 for 2 on the shots is Motion. Another opportunity off the kickoff, but Green sorting this one out off his own backboard, and a good double to follow. Sushi comes flying in but can't find a touch. Kovalchuk bailing him out. Trying to start a little bit of an air dribble, but shut down early from Reed. As now the 50s getting a lot better from this Motion squad as Vanity in. Kovalchuk attempting a little bit of a pinch, and Reed shutting it down early again. Double commit here for Ascension. Have to see if it's capitalized on as a big fake. Here's Vanity again. The Reed quality touch, and Reed primarily been the 3rd man here for this Ascension roster, and that was huge for them against Drakes. I mean, I can't even count how many times we saw him fly up for an air dribble and clear it off his own backboard, and that's a big part, is just letting Rockerman and Green chase.
That's true. Reed is constantly that rock on defense, holding it down in the back post, and that's a vital part of the team chemistry for them. I have to say, Ascension looking slightly less organized now that they don't have a comfortable lead to fall back on. Now, when they are down, we'll have to see if they can come back with the equalizer.
Yeah, and no shame to JSN. He's a solid player in his own right, but I can already tell the way Vanity Bop is playing, he shuts down another opportunity right there. This Motion roster, it's only been 2 minutes, and I can tell they already look just so much better with Vanity, and he really just brings something else to his team. He's just the X factor at the moment.
It seems like it, and really, I gotta say, the speed just looks so much better from Motion, and because of that, the rotations also are cleaner. They just look more composed as a team with this new addition, and Vandy becoming the sub. Still makes you question if they lose by one game. That first game could be the difference. Like you said, JSN, not a bad player at all, but in my opinion, Vandy Bop fits better into this lineup. Could be detrimental in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. But it all starts here, starting with those 2 quick goals. And if they find a big win here, it could be fruitful to the rest of the series. But something that was not fruitful was that big whiff, and they're getting Ascension back into this game.
And Sushi, as last back, just stepped out of the goal a little bit too far, put himself in a place where the aerial was a little bit too awkward. You know, sometimes even in the Challenger League, the best play can just be to bang the ball on net and hope that the defense messes up. That time it will lead to an Ascension goal. Now they're only within 1 to tie the game back up.
And now the pressure off the kickoff, forcing its way onto the Motion side, but dished right back on to this blue half. As Reed looking for the infield pass. Greenglow and Rockerman, an awful double commit there. Luckily they didn't get scored on, although ball still dangerous. Sushi trying to slip that one over to Kovalchuk, but Kovalchuk rotating all the way back. But could have easily been another 2-goal lead for Motion if that opportunity had been turned. Vanity trying to get this one to the middle, but unfortunately had 0 boost to work with. Another huge 50 from Rockerman, but a better clear from Sushi to send it off his own ceiling. Big clear from Vanity. Looking for the boost steal, missed the corner. And couldn't find a bump either. And another big aerial from Sushi on the defensive half, and another huge whiff. Luckily for them, that wasn't on target, and kind of 2 abnormal whiffs coming out from Sushi right there.
Yeah, not something we see often from him. Once again, maybe not having the best day, but it won't matter as he kind of gets a nice pass from Rockerman, giving Motion even more of a comfortable lead here now.
And you mentioned sometimes all you have to do is bang the ball. I mean, that goes all the way up even to RLCS level. Just banging the ball. You never know if somebody has boost on the other end. And Rockerman, it really looked like he wanted to dribble that ball, and then he changed his mind at the last possible second to try and flick it, and just got that flick off his side, not with much power, and dished it straight over to Sushi. And another unconvincing aerial from Sushi, but luckily he found the save right there. But now, 2-goal lead here for Motion, entering these final 30 seconds of Game 2. Green up, but once again getting beat out from Vanity, and you were talking about the speed of Vanity Bop, and he is just outpacing this Ascension roster time and time again in the midfield. Hasn't really resulted in a goal for him yet, but a good hit from Rockerman will find another 1-goal deficit here for him.
And speaking of outpacing, Rockerman is just able to read this ball slightly faster than Vanity, and Vanity just kind of hits it into Rockerman. A big 50. Now 20 seconds left. It is possible, but Ascension are going to have to push for this one.
And it could start here. Big kickoff. Green there. Kovalchuk with a pre-flip, almost getting it slipped underneath him. With a big hit, but better clear from Vanity. Green up early. Trying to dish it to the middle to Reed, but an unfortunate back pass as a result. Another huge 50 from Rockerman. Final seconds. Still an opportunity for Ascension to tie it up, but Rockerman, he cannot find the touch. But one thing I will say Rockerman has found is these 50s. I mean, it seems like every time Rockerman's going for the 50, F-150 strong, this ball is flying off the ceiling onto the Motion half.
It's a little bit intimidating if you're Motion, and in all honesty, they need to start positioning themselves better or just trying to avoid risky 50s because, like you said, Rockerman is just annihilating them when it comes to the 50 department. And right now, Rockerman is looking like the carry of Ascension, at least for this series, or at least for this game, coming out with 2 goals. It wasn't enough to tie it up with Motion, but still, Vandy Bob definitely looks like the play here as they're able to hold off Ascension, but it still is not convincing.
Yeah, and Vanity, he didn't get any shots on the board, no assists either, but I mean, the midfield presence of Vanity Bop was just absolutely spectacular. He was beating out defenders or offenders on the Ascension side left and right, and just getting quality 50s for Motion, which is exactly what they were lacking in game 1. And even though Rockerman got 2 goals on 6 shots, and honestly dominating in the 50 department himself, it was just what they needed. And now, up at 1-1 in the series, as this one slipped all the way back, Sushi returning this one onto the blue half. And Rockerman with a bang of his own, Sushi trying to keep this one in, but goes over to Kovalchuk and another big 50, and this is just the series of the 50s right now, merely. It's just, each game they're just exchanging blows.
Really, it is just all about the 50s right now. Last game, Motion was able to put away enough shots that it didn't matter. But if this continues, they can't really afford to be in a defensive standoff if they can't figure out these 50s. One thing I do actually want to talk about is that one of the people who we expected to step up big, oh my goodness, a missed shot from Vanity. Unfortunate for Motion. But one of the people we expected to see step up big for Ascension is Green. And as I say that, actually, he's going to get a huge flick. But other than, I think, like 1 or 2 goals in the first game, he hasn't really been that present for the Ascension roster.
Yeah, and I did mention it looked like he was playing a little bit nervous there in game 1. He did find a big flick goal in game 1, but ultimately just a lapse in rotation from Motion allowed that opportunity to go in. Not really a good touch from him here either, as Kovalchuk trying to put this one on, but Green able to follow his own touch. As now the net open for Reed, and he will find it, as I'm not quite sure who that was, but it looked like another big whiff in the for Motion there. It was Sushi again.
And Sushi is just not finding his consistency on these defensive touches. One thing that Ascension has capitalized on is open nets for the majority of this series. You just can't afford to give them free plays like that.
Yeah, and now that is the 3rd time that Sushi's been last back and gone up for a high-flying aerial, and he just has... And 2 out of 3 of those times, it's led to an Ascension goal, and either he just needs to find more consistency, or if he doesn't have the confidence in himself, just try and rotate a little bit further back and try and get a last-second touch on the goal line, because these aerials are not working for him right now. Up early here, though, to keep this one locked in the Ascension half, but ends up going only to Reed, who booms this one back onto the orange side. Sushi on the sidewall. Going for just a direct hit. Perhaps an infield pass would have been the better option. Here's Kovalchuk with the pre-flip. Good 50 from him as Vanity actually sends it off Kovalchuk. Kovalchuk to the middle. Sushi up early. Ballsy 3rd-man challenge from him once again. But Kovalchuk bailing out this pressure. Is now Vanity keeping this one locked in. Back pass to Sushi. He's looking for the double perhaps, but Green on the backboard shutting that opportunity down early. Half of a double commit there for Ascension, but 2 players not quite ready. Here's Sushi again up early. He gets a lucky touch. Net open. Can Reed get back in time? He does. High off the backboard with the follow. Double commit for Motion. And it's just chaos right now, merely.
Don't even know exactly what that play was. Sushi almost got a fortunate play into the open net. Luckily for Ascension, the defense got back just in time. Right now, the playstyle from Sushi is nothing but chaotic. If he can kind of coordinate his hits just a little bit better, Motion is going to be in a much better position. They might be in a better position anyways, though. They've had a lot of offense this game, but they still just can't find anything.
And again, another big play from Reed on the goal line as that one was falling down right above the crossbar. And Reed, he had a big whiff to start off game 2, but other than that, played solid defense as he always has. Reed looking for the pass over to Green, but shut down from Sushi, but Rockerman keeping this pressure up. Looking for a little bit of a fake, but perhaps could have been due to the low boost coming out from him. Reed charging in early, almost getting beat out, but luckily for Ascension, it will get sent off to the side. As a series of big 50s off these sidewalls will keep this one into the Ascension half, and a huge double commit from Motion, leaving the net open, but Ascension player could not find the double, and Reed, he's pre-flipping, almost putting this one in his own net. Still could be an opportunity for Motion here as the clock is ticking down. They're going to have to find something quick here.
And now Ascension is being put in a position they never should have been in. Motion is going to regain, but that that never should have happened. I don't know what Reed was thinking pre-flipping back into the ball, but it gives Motion just a free play.
And the chaos continues for both teams this time. A cluster of 5, almost 6 players right on the goal line. Although another big kickoff is going to erase the issue. And Green Glow will bail out his team after that strange, chaotic play just a second ago.
And that's fortunate for Ascension that they can get as good of a kickoff as they have here. Now they can just erase that last play from their mind. But still, that was a little bit sketchier than you hope for from Ascension. And kickoffs are so inconsistent that it could even result in another goal for Motion, even though it looks like Ascension are the ones attacking now.
Yeah, and I know Green, he plays a lot of 1v1s and kind of touts himself up for beating a Titan player or a rival player every now and then. But hold on, Rockerman again couldn't get back in time, and an exchanging of hands is going to keep this one at a tied score.
And the defense from both teams, it seems like, honestly, the play for both teams right now is just to hit the ball at the opposition's net and hope that the defense gets a poor touch or no touch at all, as a lot of goals are going in right now that arguably really shouldn't be.
And there could perhaps be another 0-second opportunity, but a good bounce off the sidewall. But now Vanity, the follow-up there as well. Ball still in the air. Kovalchuk trying to harass Rockerman, and surely this one will touch, and it will. What I was trying to say was Green, a solid 1v1 player, and his kickoffs are nothing short of impeccable, and almost getting another one right there. Here's Sushi trying to find the double, couldn't find it. Vanity a little too slow, and that's going to leave the opportunity off target. If he just rushed in a little bit quicker, that would have sealed the deal here, game 3. But here's Green, opposite side. Sushi can't find the touch on the backboard. Green high. Rockerman up early. He's going to find the backboard. He's going to put it crossbar down. Who said Rockerman doesn't have mechanics?
And the aerial that wins him the game. Rockerman jumps up early for this one, turns his car perfectly, and gets the bar down. That's really good for Ascension. Now they can put the defensive mistakes from this game behind them, and now they have a 2-1 series lead to bank on.
And that is huge for Rockerman and the rest of Ascension. I can hear the Rockerman getting up out of his chair, screaming, yelling at that one, because that was a huge win from them. And that was just such a chaotic game 3 between the kickoff goal and then the opportunity right after that where Motion tied it up at 2-2. And even right in, as soon as that first kickoff began in overtime, Vanity, he had a solid opportunity right in front of him. The left side of the net was open, and he just didn't rush in fast enough. And by the time he did, it kind of squeaked off the left post and out. And then shortly thereafter, Rockerman, I'm not even sure if he pre-jumped that one, but either way, a hell of a read coming out from him.
Most definitely, and definitely some fortune on Ascension's side in that game, as the shot from Vanity rolled off of both posts. Now they have to try and gain an even further lead. The series is not even close to over.
Yeah, definitely. We're only sitting at game 4. Plenty of Rocket League left to be played. Plenty of time for Motion to once again tie this one back up. Here's Sushi looking to start a dribble, getting bumped off the ball from the all too notable Rockerman playstyle. It's Rockerman turning on this one, trying to chase it. A big 50 sent all the way back to Reed, and again Sushi, that is now the 4th or 5th time he's gone up flying for an aerial on his side, and he just hasn't even come close to contact. Pass to the middle, but Sushi this time bailing out his team. And this, I once again, merely, I think it comes down to Sushi and his consistency here.
Yeah, when Sushi is playing well on defense, he's helping alleviate the pressure. There we even saw he was just back in time to stop the goal from Ascension. But when he gets these misses, it just gives Ascension goals that they never should have had. He has to find his consistency, or else the game could be won or lost by his defensive mistakes.
Yeah, definitely. And the last thing you want to do is let a sailing ball go flying into your net to lose a lead or lose a game. Here he is again, and another unconvincing aerial, but he finds the touch off to the side. Here's Rockerman putting the post. Couldn't be the hero this time around, as now all of Ascension racing back. Rockerman opting not to triple commit with his team, which was the smart option. And Green with a strange touch to the middle. Here's Vanity coming charging in. Good 50. Kovalchuk for the follow. It's a slow
Oh no.
roller, but it's gonna go in.
And the slow roller, Vanity gets 50, but it lands perfectly. Kovalchuk had the entire net to shoot at, but instead goes for the slow shot to the bottom left corner. It's gonna work out, as I believe both defenders pre-jumped, but now Motion gains the lead once again. I don't think they've thrown one yet this series.
Another opportunity off the kickoff. And Kovalchuk almost putting it on. Vanity there. He's not slow this time around, and he's quick to react to give Motion a 2-goal lead here.
And there it is, Motion. Kovalchuk hits it off the post. Reed was expecting the shot, and Vanity Bop is there to clean it up. We're seeing the chemistry working out from Motion. They seem to be feeling these shots a lot more than we saw the post hits in the previous games.
And definitely in Reed off the kickoff. Now Rockerman, he's not going to miss this one. And a series of mistakes are exchanged on these kickoffs.
And now just goals flying in left and right. A miss there from Kovalchuk. Sushi can't get back in time, and Rockerman's going to put that one in for free.
And I just got to give a quick shout out to the chat. A Nemesis legend has joined the chat again. It is Enigma Sector Proxy Lols. He is back. And I'm not quite sure if he knows what's going on right now, but Rockerman is in the grand finals, his ex-teammate, and happy to see him here. And happy to see Rockerman compete here, but Rockerman will find himself down a goal here in game 4, excuse me. Is now the man himself dishing it off the sidewall. Green up early, almost falling on it. Rockerman maybe attempting to dish that one back up into Green, who was falling onto the play. And Green got demoed and he was all the way back. Good shot, but Sushi consistent on defense right there. As all three players for Motion clustered tight together. Haven't been punished quite yet here. As Reed high off the backboard. Rockerman there, he had the read, but once again, Sushi stepping up on defense. It's just a matter of whether or not he will find the touch. Rockerman bet that he didn't, but Rockerman ultimately shut down from Sushi. And we got a lot of time left here in game 4 merely, but what did Motion got to do to try and keep slowing down Ascension here?
Well, they're doing a great job of keeping Ascension at bay on defense for now, but they really have to try and get some plays of their own, or else eventually a goal will be scored, and indeed it is, as Rockerman puts in another one.
And Rockerman has put in so many goals here to start off these opening 4 games, and I'm not quite sure who that was, but they went flying over the ball, perhaps expecting a better shot, but Rockerman slipping that one underneath, and Motion dropping a 2-goal lead now, putting Ascension in the driver's seat with all of the momentum. Yes, Benji, I'm going to say momentum again. As this one dished over to Rockerman. Bicycle kicking its way to keep this one into the orange half. Green off the ceiling with the pre-flip. This one's going in, but Sushi standing tall in the defensive half again. It's Kovalchuk trying to slip its way past all of the Ascension players. It's Reed keeping it in. Green to follow. High off the sidewall. Rockerman there. Looking for some bumps to boot. But Reed all the way back. Can't keep this pressure up. And this time Sushi couldn't find the touch there. Would have alleviated the pressure with a big clear. Demo from Rockerman to keep this one in. Reed rushing in as the third man off the crossbar. Couldn't find the accuracy. Rockerman getting dunked out. As Green off the sidewall. Reed charging in again. Big 50 from him. Rockerman charging in as well. And both of these teams are just wanting these opportunities so bad, merely. They're just flying in left and right. As the net open now, and Rockerman, he's going to put it in.
Rockerman, and now Ascension takes the lead with just over 30 seconds left. Greenglow gets it past 2. Vanity Bop is fast, but he's not fast enough to get back to that one.
Yeah, and that was just the speed of Greenglow coming out to produce that opportunity from Ascension. And Sushi, I'm looking at the scorecard right now. He has 6 saves right now. He's the only person on his team to have any saves. And just Vanity and Kovalchuk aren't there to support him on defense. Ascension looking for one more, but blocked away from Vanity Bop, who had a good block right there. Slight back pass over, but not able to get anything going yet. Reed getting bumped out of the play. Sushi, big clear, big follow. He could even score the goal, but Green up early. Vanity high off the corner. Where's the follow-up from Kovalchuk? Kovalchuk there, but he botches the opportunity, sending it high off the crossbar. He didn't have any boost, but perhaps could have definitely put that one on.
And Ascension going to head up to match point, championship point. They only need one more game. Motion now need to win 3 in a row. An insane game number 4 we had here. A defensive battle, a defensive masterpiece from Sushi, but it just wasn't enough. They either had to score more goals or Sushi had to make 10 saves, and he's doing all that he can. You have to ask more from his teammates here.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure how they scored their first goal, but that second goal, even the third goal, just the rotation not there, the rotation a little bit too slow. There was a bit of a pre-jump, and Rockerman slipped one under, and then just the pace of Green Glow in that corner, the speed, beating out all 3 of those Motion players, and Rockerman has found I think he's found all 5 of the last goals for Ascension, the only person to score here the last 2 games for the Ascension roster, but either way, being set up from Reed, being set up from Green Glow. But certainly, it's got to be a team effort here from Motion if they have any hopes of getting back in the series.
I 100% agree. And off the kickoff, they'll find another one. I don't know if you can call that a team play, but Kovalchuk himself will put that one in.
Well, technically there is an assist in the column there for Sushi, so team play it is. But there's just been so many kickoff goals this series. It's just been the absolute strange set of affairs here.
Most definitely. And, we're no strangers to interesting kickoff goals on Nemesis streams, even in the grand finals. We'll see if Ascension can reply quickly.
It definitely has a lofting ball sent over to an awkward Kovalchuk, but still able to find the read. Is Vanity getting a bump, trying to follow the play as Kovalchuk rushing in. This is going to leave Sushi last back. Green trying to outpace the defenders once again. As Rockerman playing more patient than I've seen him play all series. Interesting from him. Usually he's diving in on these opportunities to shut him down early. And again, the passive play style is going to get punished here in Motion. They have a 2-goal lead early once again.
And I gotta say, I don't think the patient play is the play for Rockerman. I think he just needs to go full chicken fever. I don't think hanging back here and waiting around. Apparently he is lagging, but if he could see that ball, then he should have been pouncing on it much earlier.
Yeah, and definitely Rockerman the last man back on both these plays. Unfortunate that it is the way it's going down at the moment, but they found a 2-goal comeback in the previous game, shutting down Motion. So they could certainly find it again. As net open, but Green able to get back in time. Following it off the sidewall, Vanity Bop looking for the clear, finds the bang. Reed off the sidewall, but only over to Kovalchuk. As Rockerman up early for this one, trying to get the pre-flip off the wall. Green can't find contact either. Shot on, and from Vanity. And this is not what you want to see at Motion are dominating.
And Motion finding their largest lead of the entire series. That's an unfortunate set of misses from the defenders. No one at all actually able to find contact, and Vandy Bop has a bit of a difficult open net, but does well. Now they're going to take a 3-goal lead. Ascension are going to have to try and fight back.
Yeah, and lots of time left to work with. 3:30 on the clock. Could start here. Rockerman to the middle, but opportunity getting shut down before it became dangerous. And Vanity up, trying to get it over to Kovalchuk as Kovalchuk went high flying as well. Sushi last back again, and once again we've seen Sushi last back so many times, but this is not where he was strongest in that Flame series. He was on offense, scoring all these goals here for Motion. And last game he came up with so many big saves, and a big save there from Vanity is gonna leave the net open. And a huge play from Vanity Bop continues to get the ball rolling for Motion.
That was incredible. Vandy was getting bumped on the goal line. I thought certainly that was going to lead to a goal from Ascension, but he avoids the bump and manages to get a touch that Reed was just not expecting. An open net for Motion, and now they are feeling comfortable in this game 5. Oh
Off
my.
the kickoff again. Rockerman couldn't find the accuracy. But, I mean, when your backs are up against the wall, Ascension was on match point. Motion, if they lost this game, they would be going home, but I would find it hard-pressed for them to blow this 4-0 lead. We did see a 5-1 lead get blown in the Novice Grand Finals, but, you know, we know anything's possible down at that level. But, I mean, definitely Motion backs up against the wall this game, and this is exactly how you want to see them respond here.
They just look like they have so much more pressure now. They figured out a way to deal with Ascension's just incredible offense, and now they're finding offense of their own. And once they do get on offense, they look like they are just much faster, and they're finding ways past this Ascension defense now that they haven't been able to even go for before in the series.
Yeah, and not even just finding ways past Ascension, or opening the door for them, making some mistakes. As now Vanity Bop on the other side, he can't find the block this time around, but Rockerman, he couldn't find the touch either, perhaps leaving it for Green Glow. Rockerman dishing it up to Green, but too slow, but somehow this ball is still in this Motion box. But no goal yet for Ascension. And they got to at least get one from the road here to keep momentum up, and they might find it here as the triple commit comes out, but nobody can stop Green Glow.
And they get a goal, I'd argue, to put momentum down, Bagels, as Green Glow 50s the ball into the net. I'm going to oust myself for that terrible commentary joke, but Ascension gets one back. Maybe they could get 3 more in a minute 30. It's not likely, but like you said, we saw it earlier, it is possible.
Definitely is possible, but likely the defense from Motion will continue to keep Ascension as bay. It was a little bit nerve-wracking right there, and whiffs are continuing to come out. Motion are not looking clean in the past 30 seconds, but a slow shot from Rockerman will not get the job done right there. Reed keeping this one locked in the midfield, as Green with a big bang of his own, trying to follow. Reed up as well, finding the double to the middle, trying to perhaps find the Doomsy pre-flip. The final minute rolling, this one will likely go Motion's way. But Rockerman might have something else to say about it, as he was looking for a pass to the mid. And, I mean, other than perhaps the 2 first goals that might have been affected by connectivity merely, I mean, was this just Ascension playing bad, or Motion stepping up to the plate with their backs against the wall?
You know, Ascension did make some poor plays in the beginning seconds as Rockerman. If he hit that double, I mean, that would have been enough to at least give them some confidence back. But other than a couple of unusual mistakes from Ascension, Motion has been playing better. I still think that this game is mostly due to Ascension's mistakes, but if Motion can keep up the pressure, they have a decent shot here. I will say in the last couple minutes, they're lucky they have a 4-goal cushion, because they've looked extremely nervous. And if they didn't have that security, you have to wonder if it might have gone a little bit differently. Now they only have to win 2 games in a row to take the championship.
Yeah, and this time they held on to their lead, and if they held on to their lead in Game 4, they would be up in the series now at 3-2, but unfortunately for them, they botched the lead, couldn't hold on to it, let Ascension back into the door, put them on match point. But good response from them here in Game 5, as now we're going to be headed on to Forbidden Temple. And, you know, I hate to keep bringing it up, but we know what happens on this map. And, you know, this would be quite interesting, merely, if Forbidden Temple would be the map that Rockerman could secure his title on.
He'll definitely be looking to, and if he can, props to him, because no one ever knows what will happen on Forbidden Temple. The only thing that is sure is that it will be an unusual game. Although, I guess if we already know that the game is unusual, then having a usual game would be an unusual occurrence. So really, anything could happen. It's crazy.
I think, as you said one time, the only thing that is forbidden is normal play. And, you know, if this is the time to break out full chicken fever Rockerman, now is the time to do it. After getting clapped in that last game, 4-1, nobody on Ascension looking clean except for that solo play coming out from Green Glow. This, likely like the rest of the series, Rockerman has been shining almost the whole time. A little bit of a connectivity issue there in the...
And a little bit of connectivity issues did lead to a couple goals last game. Hopefully they can be fixed this time, as it looks like I am now alone in the casting booth. I'm pretty sure Bagel's Trailer Park Wi-Fi came in clutch, and by coming in clutch, I mean absolutely disconnected. We're just going to move on, and keep taking care of this Rocket League that we have in front of us, though, as Vandy's going to look for a shot here. Green gets sort of a save, but can't quite find the complete save, as a pre-jump won't really work out. It did look like he was on target to save it, but he just double jumped when he should have flipped forward. Not the defense that you want to see. Ascension trying desperately to close out this series before it goes to 7. You definitely know that they won't be wanting to go to 7. The nerves will be in full force. They might have to, though, as now they're down 0-1. Still plenty of Rocket League left to be played, and 1-goal lead is not everything. They just have to try and avoid falling down to the same deficit as in the last game. Sushi making a crucial touch here as Rockerman gets it centered. This was a shot opportunity, but he can't find it. Now the ball is centered. This is an open net for Motion. Vandybop completely misses. Rockerman misses too. What is happening? And Green Glow finally able to make the touch. A shot will go in for Ascension, and after a series of unusual events, we expected them, Ascension will score.
I mean, what can you expect when you're playing on Forbidden Temple? It's nothing but a series of unusual events. And in that situation, Ascension just came out the more fortunate after several terrible shots off the posts and several whiffs.
Yeah, quite a few whiffs to speak of there. And now Ascension tries to find their way onto offense, but ends up finding themselves on defense. It's Green trying to make a touch out here. Gets it only to the middle where Reed is waiting. Gets a shot on target. Sushi should save this, and he does do well. Now Rockerman taking to the sky. Tries to pass middle, but no teammate there to back him up. That's one problem that Ascension did have in the first part of the season. There would just be times, and now an own goal coming out once again from Ascension. Forbidden Temple does not seem like it's their map right now.
I am back. I apologize. My internet has gone out for a short period of time. I require an invite. Merely, what is the series score? What is
the score in Game 6 right now is 2-1. Motion is leading. 2 own goals have been scored by Ascension. You're gonna also have to go into training because Rocket League does not want us to win. But yeah, you're missing out on some unusual occurrences for sure here. I feel bad for you missing out on Forbidden Temple. A handful.
Any other way.
You know, I guess that's the unusual part this time. The Bagels disconnect. Although that's really not that unusual.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Alright, I will get back in here as soon as possible and stop the scuffness.
Of course. It's okay. It's a Nemesis stream. You know, sometimes it's just a little bit scuffed. But what's not scuffed is this air dribble from Kovalchuk. Gets it past all the defenders. No teammate there, though. Sushi trying to keep this one in. And actually, there's no defense there. Ascension almost letting another one through. They're just barely able to stay afloat. It seems like both offenses not really wanting to commit fully right now, as both teams are breaking the ball past all the defenders. But then there's just no follow-up there. Might not be a follow-up on this one either. Sushi there. And now it looks like Kovalchuk is the one hunting for demos. Taking a page out of Rockerman's book. He's been a demo hunter for this entire season. Now Kovalchuk trying to get there as his own, but a pinch will just head straight into Ascension's net.
And just like we've seen so many times before, we've seen Green in this position, last back, trying to find the air dribble off his own backboard, but just too much of a speedy play, a speedy clear coming out, and he could not find the touch. And I mean, you have to wonder the nature of these goals. Is this Rockerman trying to write the script, trying to get a Game 7 or Grand Finals, or is he getting frustrated right now that Motion is coming back in this series?
Definitely has to be a little bit frustrating, especially to concede as they have with a pair of own goals that were, you know, they were forced errors, I will say, Bagels, but they were definitely savable shots. Now they're trying to look to find their way back in.
Here's Green in his corner, couldn't find the touch. Reed bailing him out a little bit. Under a minute left to work with. Here's Rockerman. The upfield pass to him. Can he find the read? But no, he couldn't. Rockerman not even close. Tough read to try and ask from any player. So now here's Reed to the middle. Almost putting the shot on, but sent away from Vanity. Rockerman charging in, trying to get some sort of last-second opportunity, but he's getting bumped off this ball. Green up to Rockerman, but no boost to catch up to that clear. And Reed overcommitting again off of a good doink from Sushi. And this one likely with 10 seconds, they are not going to be able to find 2 goals as they are bumping each other on the goal line. And we got the first Game 7 of the night, merely in Grand Finals.
And Motion fighting their way back from being down 3-1, now on equal footing. I'm sure they wouldn't have it any other way, but Ascension definitely wishing that they could have closed this one out earlier. Now they're going to have to go to a Game 7. If Ascension wins, the script will be obvious. I said it would be too obvious if they won in 7 games previously. But, you know, Rockerman maybe just wanting to make the best script possible.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, he said he didn't see he didn't see that number 7 come up in the first 2 series, so he said if anybody's going to get the job done, it's going to be me. But in all reality, I'm sure that's not what he wanted. He wanted to shut this thing down in Game 5 and nip it in the butt and dominate Kovalchuk. He said he wasn't going to lose to Kovalchuk, but now I'm not so sure. I predicted in the pre-show that Motion was going to win. Had a little bit of unconvincing thoughts about this Ascension roster. They've looked solid so many times. Unfortunately, I missed out there on the Game 6. So it did seem like, according to what you were saying, that Ascension, they kind of just dropped the ball. But they're going to have to bounce back here and shut down the momentum that Motion has acquired.
Yeah, they really dropped the ball, literally and figuratively, into their own net. And they're going to have to try and recover from those defensive mistakes. You know, so far their defense has looked fairly solid, but in that game it really let them down. Now heading into Champions Field, we get to see if they can recover. And the first Game 7 of Nemesis Season 4 Grand Finals. I'm super excited to be able to cast it. I just hope this is a good one.
I hope this is a good one as well, and I hope my internet will comply just for a few more minutes because I am excited. This is do or die, and Sushi with the air dribble to start it off, but blocked away from Green Glow, but this is do or die. Can Rockerman find the title he's been trying to covet for so long, or will Kovalchuk shut down those hopes and secure a dub, a first-time dub for all these players on Motion? So here's Reed. Trying to find an air dribble, but dishes it away a little bit too high for himself. Green for the follow. Still dangerous in front of the net. Here comes Rockerman. He's going to find it off the crossbar. And a huge goal to start off this all-important Game 7.
And Rockerman once again finding this shot off the bar down. It seems like almost every goal he's scored this series has been so close, just off the bar, finding the accuracy just barely. But if Rockerman were here, you know, I got to channel his spirit. He would say the first goal is always the most important for Game 7 or Game 5, and we've got to find out if that will turn out to be true.
Definitely, and the man scored it himself, but such a chaotic play coming out. I mean, Green and Reed were both just floating on top of that ball. Fortunate 50s left and right, but Ascension will absolutely take that opportunity as Reed getting another huge save on defense time and time again. Green trying to corral this one in the middle, but Vanity with a slight back pass. Green off the back wall. Reed flying in, good 50, but only sent out straight to Kovalchuk as Rockerman last back, finding a great save of his own. As here's Vanity, sending this one on, but only to Reed, who's going to dish it straight back. Kovalchuk there, off the backboard, following his own touch. Great play coming out from him. Here's Sushi, not a great hit, flying off the backboard, but another shot parried away from Vanity. As Reed in the midfield, sending it over to Sushi. Is this one? Rockerman actually dishing it straight back out. He's going to land on his own shot that got returned fire. And, you know, Ascension, they're not playing the most confident play either in this Game 7. It's a big 50 from Rockerman. Who cares about confidence? It's all about luck.
Who needs confidence when you're in the Ford F-150? In itself, it's just a beacon of confidence, and Rockerman still, in my opinion, has yet to lose a single 50. This time, the ball will go flying into their net, and Motion has to try to turn things around fast, or else they cannot let this lead get any further in Ascension's favor.
And it could start right here. Rockerman off the kickoff. If he had a little bit more boost, could have found a big 3-0 lead. But still, Motion Now down 2-0, plenty of time to come back. As Rockerman, he can't find the touch, net open, but Green able to race back and shut it down. Now he's in the 1v1 with Vanity. No boost to try and sneak it past him though. Reed, big 50. As all of Motion, a little bit of panic here in this corner, but big clear out. Green opting to rotate all the way back, collecting his corner boost. Sushi up early, will get beat out from Green Glow. Vanity with a very unfortunate touch. Nobody from Ascension quite ready for that bad touch right there, though. Big flick up to Vanity. Kovalchuk looking for the dunk. But if anybody's going to dunk out Rockerman, it will be Rockerman himself with these 50s, trying to find the angle. Green for the follow, and that's a huge lead here in Game 7 for 3-0.
And Ascension taking a commanding lead. Once again, Rockerman just barely beats out the last defender. This time Green will be there for the shot. And Green is really stepping up, I gotta say. In this Game 7, he looks more alive than he's been for the entire rest of the series.
Yeah, and a big rotational error from Kovalchuk. I'm not even sure if he would have been able to find the save either way, but he rotated the wrong way and allowed that shot to come out right there. But definitely a lot of work to be done, and more work to be done on defense here, as Vanity with another big save to keep the deficit where it is. Vanity down to Koval, and team pinch, putting this one in a dangerous spot. Here comes Sushi, no boost. Had a lot of time, perhaps should have been a little bit more patient, and time continuing to be a pressing issue for Motion. They've got offense, but they can't find the accuracy. As Kovalchuk taking this one away from Vanity. The right decision, leaving it for him right now, though. Green off the backboard, nobody up. Rockerman with a little bit of a half challenge, not wanting to overcommit. Smart play coming out from him. Although Reed and Rockerman clustered in the corner, looking for bumps. Couldn't find any. But ultimately, with a minute left, they just got to hold on to this lead. Can Reed make a big play here? And he does, to send this one away to the side. Huge defensive play coming out from him. But a minute left merely. Ascension are poised. They're ready. They're Rockerman. He wants this title.
And I said that the defense would have to step up for Ascension in this Game 7, and step up it has. The offense with it. Now they only have to hold on for one more minute, and Rockerman will be bringing home the chip. Motion have not been able to find any offense this game, it seems, and they're going to have to find so much in so little time. I don't know if it's possible anymore.
Definitely not in their favor. So here's Green and Rockerman combining for a clear. It works out, getting the demo to boot. Reed keeping this one locked in the midfield. A lot of work to be done in 30 seconds, and it starts here. Can Kovalchuk try and find something? But a big booming clear. Past Kovalchuk, past Vanity. With the boost steal, with the bumps coming out. 15 seconds and rolling, and Rockerman has finally done it. He has achieved the title, Season 4 Challenger League Grand Finalist champions for Ascension merely.
And they said it couldn't be done. He's been memed on for 4 seasons and beyond. But at the end of the day, you have to say, Rockerman MVP of this series. His team stepped up huge as well, and Ascension will take home the title of Season 4 champions. A beautiful display in Game 7, reasserting their dominance in this series, and you cannot argue that they deserve it.
Yeah, and definitely this was the season of Rockerman. This was Rockerman's season. He constructed this roster from the ground up. He knew who he wanted. He knew he wanted Reddy/Reed. He knew he wanted Green. And by golly, he has finally done it. This roster was just so clean. It didn't look good at all times, but definitely they got the job when it mattered most. And they showed a big Game 7, the defense there, and just exploited this Motion roster who probably had a little bit less experience. And Motion, they just couldn't come up to the table after winning that last 2 games right there.
Even though they had all of the momentum in their favor, yes, I said it, Motion just looked completely stumped in that Game 7. More so due to Ascension stepping up, though. I'm a little heated at Rockerman for bringing us to a Game 7, but then not making it close. I don't know what's up with that script. Could have definitely gone a better script there. I was hoping for some OT or something. But still, both teams playing fantastic throughout the entire series, and definitely a series that we have all enjoyed watching.
Yeah, and not to really, like, I don't even know how to say it, not to poke fun or criticize Motion too hard, but you mentioned at the end of Game 1, what if it comes back to be one game that bites them in the butt? And ultimately, we got to go back to that game one. What would have happened if they started this series with Vanity Bot? But they're going to have to keep wondering because unfortunately they could not get the job done. And it came down to game 7 in Motion. They just couldn't step up. Ascension just too calm, too collected, not allowing Motion to get any goals there. Game 7. And one more final congratulations to Rockerman, the regional dictator himself. He has his legit title.
And that he does. Once again, fantastic play. Thank you to both of these teams. And I didn't want to be the one to mention it, but, you know, in all honesty, it was a sub-in, but game one still could have gone either way. I don't really think that that's something that Motion should dwell on at all. You know, the outcome of the series is nothing that you can change, and at the end of the day, there's not even that big of a chance that necessarily would have affected the entire outcome.
That is true. Fair points. And you know, you don't want to take the losses too hard. We all want to win here, but at the end of the day, it's about the fun competition. And we definitely got a fun battle here tonight in the Challenger League Grand Finals. Ascension taking the dub 4-3 over Motion there. And coming up next, we got a hot and heavy matchup between some high mechanical players here in the rival league merely. We got Vortex going off against, oh my God, Hydra. And Hydra, Biscuit personally is looking to be the first player to get 3 championships back to back to back. And we'll catch you guys after the break for that amazing matchup.